I'm Hank Svek, servant beekeeper and founder of Wildflower Bee Farm. Before I explain the course a little bit in servant beekeeping, I want to explain why this course is probably not for you. The word servant is something that a lot of us have trouble with. Now, before I continue, I want you to know I respect all beekeepers, so I follow diligently what I call, farming beekeepers or commercial beekeepers. I learn from them, I listen, even though the way they practice is totally different than my relationship with bees. But if you're looking for quick solutions of how to use different, treatments or, increase your production, this isn't the class for you. It's also not the class for you if you're not open-minded, if you're not willing to open your mind to learn how beekeeping in a servant beekeeping manner is about connecting to all aspects of what our bees do. It's also about respecting them, that we serve them. We serve the habitat in which they live, and we serve the beehive, and we respect their ability to make decisions for themselves, and we respect those decisions. So if you're okay with that and you want to at least open your mind up for about an hour to learn what we do at servant beekeeping in that philosophy, let me tell you a little bit about it. So this class, if you've been keeping track, has changed even just recently because I finally realized I'm really talking about servant beekeeping. The 6 strategies I used to get my success last winter is all about servant beekeeping. The connection I have with nature, the purpose I have of being out there every day. And here's the new things that are really exciting. We know that being in nature is healthy for us too. In Canada, we have what is called prescriptions for nature. Doctors are actually writing prescriptions for people to be in nature 20 minutes a day for up to 2 hours a week. And it's healthy for them physically and psychologically. In my journey, I've learned that as a clinical psychologist, there are many ways. So for 30 years, I was a clinical psychologist, helping people manage anxiety, health, and reactions to physical illness and disease. Servant beekeeping, by definition, I define as watching and listening to your bees to help them, and in turn help their habitat and the environment. That's the definition of servant beekeeping. It's watching and listening. And you're going to learn in this class why doing less is more. The first rule I have has to do with habitat. And let me explain that one and then I'll let you go because this is quite a lengthy intro. But regardless of the size of the land that you have, if you have a small piece in your backyard the size of your kitchen table, or maybe you have a balcony where you can put plants, if you purposely plant different seeds to help bees and get connected to the land, it will change how you look at not just beekeeping and working with bees and working with nature, but all aspects of your life. When we converted our 50-acre farm back to nature here after I retired as a psychologist, it became very clear to me the connection that I had through the bees to nature. And that is the other reason why for many people I think servant beekeeping is not the approach you want to take. Because it's very much an industrial approach, which is fine. I respect that. But that's not what servant beekeeping is. Servant beekeeping is about maintaining a delicate balance between what we have on the environment and how we as humans can help our bees and in turn help what happens to our planet. So that's really the aspect of servant beekeeping. So if you plant a tiny little, 5 by 5 foot section of your land, in my first rule, I talk about what seeds you might want to choose. That will begin to connect you to your bees. Now, if you're fortunate and have more land, you can plant more, and that will help more of your bees. But that's an example of how servant beekeeping is more than just working with bees. It's a philosophy to help your bees, the planet, and also improve your own mental and physical health. Finally, you'll notice at the very end of the class, I include a PDF copy of a book my wife and I wrote called What Grandpa Learned from His Honeybees, the little book to be smart with your money and help the environment. We wrote that book for our grandchildren because not only have bees taught us about ourselves, the planet, the environment, and what we need to do, it's taught us incredible lessons about how to manage and invest money, believe it or not. And so you get a free copy of this at the end of the book. It's totally unrelated to beekeeping, but not to the all-encompassing interaction between nature, honeybees, and our lives. So I'm Hank. If you feel you want to move forward, it's great if you can connect to this class. Look forward to working with you if you become a servant beekeeper, or at least consider some of the options. Let's get started.